The thing that I love the most about my favorite conspiracy website, which is the World Economic Forum, is that they constantly delete videos. Like they post something up, which they're very proud of, and then they get massive backlash to the point where they have to take it down. One of the famous videos is that you will own nothing and be happy, which puts the conspiracy that some of the elites around the world and members of the government are plotting in order for you to own nothing and be happy. So, people didn't really like that, and they downvoted. The video got taken down. But recently I noticed something else that they put up. So you got this lady, and every single time, right, like they're really happy about their ideas. Like they think that they have discovered something amazing and they want to share with you. So let's listen to what she has to say.
So this is why we talk about mobility, because actually if you can get people to share a car, you can take out, a lot of cars in the streets. I think it's Singapore where they looked how they could bring it down to about 40% of the cars if we would use them smarter. And the interesting thing about technology is that it makes sharing easy and fun and not annoying. It used to be a little bit difficult to share, you would have to go in somewhere in the other end of town and get a key, and that's not what you want to do if you want to take your car. But if you can just use your neighbor's car because you have a smartphone and an app and you don't even need to know the neighbor to get into his car, it's much easier and much more fun to share. And you start then thinking completely different about transport and traffic.
I would love to know the early history and early life of this person. Like, how can you be so secluded from humanity to genuinely, not understand how humans operate? Like, you must live in a white tower. You must live in a place filled with luxury and filled with goods to the point where you genuinely do not understand your fellow man and you cannot comprehend why this would be a bad idea. The problem with sharing isn't that it's a hassle. Like, people will share. For instance, when it's a common good, like World War II. There was this thing that the Americans promoted: if you drive alone, you drive with Hitler, in order for them to save gas. And back then, they didn't have the technology we have today. They didn't have smartphones, they didn't have apps in order to share. But they did it anyway because they actually got convinced that it's the right thing to do. So, no, the problem with sharing isn't the hassle. It's not the difficulty. The problem with sharing is the sharing in and of itself. People do not like communism. What she is advocating is communism. And I know it sounds ridiculous, but if you actually look at the pillar stone, like the foundation of communism is the commune. The commune is a place where everyone lives together and they share everything. And it has been tried throughout human history. Many nations have tried this with disastrous results. People end up hating each other. They end up despising each other. They end up having feelings of animosity and hatred if you make them live in the commune by force. People live in a commune when it's family ties and they create the family bonds, which is why the communists try to destroy those bonds. Because again, you gotta understand how the intellectuals, the actual people writing the ideology think. They're like, okay, well, the great system is if we live like ant people. Like if we live like ant people, we will end all the problems in the world. We're going to end world hunger. We're going to end war. Everything is going to be perfect, right? We're going to put our social engineers, like the most smart people that have finished gender studies, we're going to put them on top, and they're going to make the smart executive decisions, and everyone works like the ant people, and we fix society. That's what communists like to think. But the reality is that it's not working. Like, they're trying their thesis, they're trying their theory, and they're applying it with disastrous results in society. And then when it's not working, they're like, okay, well, it didn't work. But like, why? We do know that there are people that live in tribes and share everything. So why does this not work? And it's like, okay, well, it's the family line. Like people will care more about their family than they care about the stranger. So let's abolish the family. Let's try systems. Let's try ways in which the government can raise the kids. And they tried that, again, with disastrous results, right? Now, it's very simple to explain why sharing a car is a bad idea. I doubt she will be sharing a car, right? And when it's your car and you share it with your neighbor, and the neighbor brings it back and it's scratched, or, he got in a car accident, or he got in something like that, it's going to make you angry and you're less likely to share it in the future. and it's going to cause problems. And again, like, this is just about cars, but like, if you live in a society like the article they written, where you share everything, right, that they genuinely want communism, well, we already know what that's going to end up like. And it's the whole thing that what she's actually trying to say here is that she wants to normalize the concept of sharing, and otherwise she wants to normalize the concept of not owning. Because the new vision of communism that they have is very similar to fascism. It's not that the government owns everything. It's more like the government and a couple of powerful companies like BlackRock, Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, Stripe, Amazon. Like, these companies work hand in hand with the government in order to lend people property, right? So basically when they say you own nothing, well, someone has to own it. So it could be Amazon, right? Like, Amazon could own the cars. And you can't buy the car from Amazon, but you can rent it. You can have like a subscription fee to use the car. And the problem with this is that we saw what companies do. Like, the first thing they like is to harvest data from their users, right? Like, they would like to monitor everything. And if it's their car, they can even install a microphone in it. They can even install cameras in it so that they can train their AI. Like, they're free to do so. And if you ever violate TOS, like you say something negative about, I don't know, the Democrats, or you have like very strong feelings about abortions or anything like that, they could legally just say, yeah, well, for violation of our TOS, we're not going to allow you to use the app anymore, which means you're now banned from renting their cars. And I actually seen this happen. I seen it happen with Airbnb, where a person that was more vocal on social media and got involved into politics, they got banned from the app, and their family got banned from the app. I have seen places where PayPal has deplatformed people. Nigel Farage was deplatformed by the banks, right? Like, it's already a bad idea to give companies this level of power, and the people that came before us realized that this is a bad idea, which is why the electrical company cannot deplatform you for speech you have online, because it's considered a utility, it's considered a necessity. So for the electrical company to take away your electricity, it's required of them to have like specific legal reasons in which they can do so, and it's usually due to you not paying. But they want to have the system where any company can do this to you, and you can't own your washing machine, you can't own your phone, you can't own your car. If you listen to the World Economic Forum, this is what they're talking about. And we actually do notice this being implemented in the real world. Like, for instance, if you actually Google it, there was a company which was making a safety vest for motorcyclists. And the idea was that if you ever get in a car crash with a motorcycle, the vest automatically inflates, and as you're falling onto the ground, it prevents you from taking damage. But apparently the vest was very expensive, so what the company did is like offered the subscription fee, and if you missed payment on your subscription fee, the vest would just not inflate. And this is what we're talking about, right? Like, everything would be subscription based if the World Economic Forum gets their way. I don't know if they can, but they're definitely trying. Like, they're definitely pushing to that direction. And we notice more and more companies being fine with this. And the problem is that there's no backlash. There's no people that are upset about it. There's no people that are angry about it, like, except for a few voices on the internet, like myself, which, you know, I see videos like this and I'm like, okay, so this is how they're pushing towards the commune. And I don't know if they're going to get it, because, like, there are legislations in certain countries that prevent them from doing this. And as I mentioned before, there is the human nature, which is against the concept of living in a commune. But they are trying their best. They're definitely pushing as hard as they can for people to actually own nothing and to rent everything from companies. And one last thing that I want to point out, there's this famous story, you can also find it on the internet, with a guy which had a smart house and he was connected to Amazon. So one of the delivery drivers thought that he heard the N-word coming from within the house, and he filed a complaint to Amazon. So the owner of the smart house got deplatformed from Amazon, and now he couldn't turn on the lights, he couldn't open the doors, the electricity was down, and all the other things that come with being deplatformed from a smart house. And it took him days in order to reach Amazon, find out the recordings of his own video footage and show that he wasn't at home when the delivery driver heard the N-word. And like, again, like, even if he had said it, like, let's assume he would have said the N-word, it was in his house that he said it, right? So this is the implications of actually owning nothing and renting everything. It's horrifying. It's horrifying what it can do to a person's civil liberties. Let me know what you guys think, though, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.